listen to this. Next to me is the Lamborghini Murcielago SV, one of the coolest Lamborghinis ever made. With a top speed of 213 miles an hour and a screaming naturally aspirated V12, this beast will go down as a legend in the automotive world. At the heart of the SV is a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 that makes 661 horsepower and 487 pound-feet of torque. There's two transmission options available, a 6-speed manual, the obvious choice, or an E-gear paddle shift transmission, single clutch automated manual. Now, obviously you want the 6-speed manual, but literally only 6 of those were ever produced, so good luck getting one. Now, thanks to its all-wheel drive system, 0 to 60 happens in 3.2 seconds, the quarter mile in 11.2, and on to 213 miles an hour. Now, thanks to its carbon fiber bucket seats, a lighter titanium exhaust, and some other carbon bits, this is 200 pounds lighter than the standard Murcielago, although it's not exactly a light car at 3,900 pounds. Now, when this car was originally reviewed on Top Gear, I fell in love immediately, and especially in this spec, it's one of the best looking Lamborghinis, if not the best Lamborghini ever made. And I love how aggressive the front bumper is. It just looks like it means business. But before we continue, I want to tell you about my new car auction website, PocketListAutos.com. Using the power of social media and some of your favorite influencers like Street Speed 717, Vehicle Virgins, and Archie Hamilton, you'll get more exposure on your car and sell faster and for a higher price. If you're looking to list your car, you can do it for free. It's quick and easy. I've got a link in the description below to do so. We'll reach out to you and get it posted ASAP. Now, if you're looking to buy a car, we've got some awesome cars on the site right now. RWB Porsche, Boss 429, Ferrari 458 Spider, and more. That's PocketListAutos.com. Around back, the Murci SV has a massive carbon fiber wing for additional downforce. Same with the massive carbon fiber rear diffuser. I love how cool the center exit exhaust is. This one, of course, is aftermarket, so it absolutely screams. Fun fact about the Murci SV, it's got one of the biggest fuel tanks of any supercars, 26 gallons. That means if you're getting less than 10 miles per gallon, you could still probably get 250 miles of range. The entirety of the car's design language is absolutely amazing. From the mirrors to the bat wings, these vents actually open up to allow for more airflow to cool the 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12. Of course, we've got the signature Lamborghini scissor doors that open to the sky. They're legitimately taller than I am. How crazy is that? It's also on aftermarket HRE wheels, and it has a Bowden titanium exhaust. That's because this car is owned by the Triple F collection. Some of the friendliest guys ever. They allowed me to review some of the cars from their collection on this trip. I'm forever grateful. So guys, if you want to see some of the coolest cars and see some really funny and exciting content, check them out on Instagram as well as YouTube. I've got a link in the description below. The interior of the Murci SV very much reminds me of the Reventon I reviewed a while back. Carbon fiber doors, Alcantara all throughout the interior, carbon everywhere, leather bits. It's just really nice in here, especially for an older car. The seats are so aggressive. I can already tell these would be horrible over a long distance drive, but they look so cool, and it's not like the Murci SV is a commuter vehicle by any means. I love the SV contrast and these Y patterns that continue down into the floor mat. Now, some controls for you. We've got a front lift in the center console, a button right next to it to open up those bat wings for more cooling and just to look cool. Then we've got Corsa mode, a more aggressive driving mode, traction control off, the window controls, folding the mirror, and the gas cap. We've also got a plaque here that says this is number 60 of 350, but because they were going through a recession at the time, they didn't even make a total number of 350. It's significantly rarer than that. Alcantara, contrasted stitching on the headliner as well. As I said, the weak point of this car is the transmission. E-gear transmission with paddles. Usually you want to put it into neutral by pulling both paddles when you get to a stop sign or stoplight so you don't burn the clutch. But at full throttle, it's absolutely insane and has so much character. Now let's go ahead and grab this key. Very basic key. All Lamborghinis of this generation. Flip up. Let's go ahead, stick that in, fire up that V12. All right, behind the wheel of the Murci SV now. Listen to this. This is one of the best sounding cars in the world, bar none. That naturally aspirated V12 is absolutely absurd. in front of us that I just reviewed. What a car. But man, yes, this car has the shortcoming of the gearbox, and yes, it'd be a little better if it was a manual, but at full throttle shifts in Corsa mode, it does shift pretty darn fast. And those frickin', oh my god, the way it bangs between shifts just adds to the drama. This thing is way more fun to drive than a frickin' Aventador SV. Murci SV all the way. And it's got a higher pitched wail than the Aventador as well. Just absolutely insane. You know, the handling's all right. It is heavy and it feels like it wants to push and understeer, but really, who cares when the car sounds that darn good? All right, we're gonna put it back into normal mode and see where this thing is not good at, and that is just putting around town. Now, interestingly, the first thing you do notice when you get behind the wheel of this car is that you're pointed to the center of the car. Both the seat and the pedal box are kind of facing inwards at an angle, which is a really strange sensation. All right, we've got a cop here. Hello. Going nice and slow. That's the one problem with this car. It sounds so good, but there's a 0% chance that that cop didn't hear me going full throttle. The steering wheel feels great in your hands. The Alcantara is a little bit worn, but obviously this is an older car. The steering feel, it has a lot of communication, and it's also really heavy. The steering is heavier than you would expect for this car. The seats are, yeah, they're not the most comfortable. Honestly, this thing rides so firm. It's actually insane. It feels like you're in a race car. The suspension is so stiff and jarring, as is the seat. But you know what? That adds to the experience. That makes this what it is. It's so intense. It's so raw. There's so much emotion. Sure, it has its flaws, but the flaws are part of what gives this car character. And while I would love to drive one in a manual transmission, it's almost quirky with this transmission. It's like the best car ever with a gearbox that's just so out of date. But at the same time, if you're doing the one thing the gearbox is good at, and that is full throttle accelerations, then who cares? Special thanks to the Triple F Collection for making this video possible. This is their car. I borrowed this and a few others to review. Super great bunch of guys. They've got a really, really fun and interesting YouTube channel, and just a collection that is absolutely insane. Now, we are going up this railroad track section, so I'm gonna hit the lift button. I like the front lift on this car. It actually happens so fast. Try not to get hit by a train here. So yeah, I've got a link in the description below to their YouTube channel as well as their Instagram. Man, the sounds are just so insane. And yeah, I mean, the interior's aged, the air vents kind of look ridiculous. Some of the plastic bits are like hilariously bad quality. What is this person doing? The reverse logo is basically like falling apart. I remember in my Gallardo, it literally did fall apart. I pressed it all the way through the dash. It's kind of a common problem. But then this part back behind the steering wheel is amazing. The Alcantara everywhere, the contrasted stitching. I love that. I mean, this is almost a better interior design than some of the modern day Lamborghinis, genuinely. And I love that plaque that tells you this thing is number 60. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. What an absolutely epic car, from the way it sounds, to the way it looks, to the way it makes you feel. Alright, look forward to seeing you next video.